TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from TikTok, passport bros. African American men. They get shitted on so much by African American women. African American women always want to say, "Oh, we have to do things for African American men that other races of women don't have to do for their man." You have no clue, lady. Like, Asian women do so much for their husbands. African American women are not even on the totem pole of how much they do for them. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Why are black women the only group that's being asked to build men up financially? Like, I just really want men to drop down in the comments and help me understand this, because I don't hear my white brothers, I don't hear my Asian brothers, the Latin brothers, I don't hear my Indian or Arab kings out here asking their woman to build them up financially. I don't hear that.
How would you know? I don't think you're around that many Asian brothers and Indian brothers and Middle Eastern brothers. Yeah, we might not ask them to build us up financially, but we ask them to be cooperative. We ask them to help build for the family. Asian women really build with their husbands, especially ones that are immigrants. Like my mother and father built a donut store together. They built a family together. All of my aunts that their husband didn't die in the war built empires together, doing donut shops. So it wasn't just the man that was a sole breadwinner. That wasn't the man that was doing all these things. No, they built together to be able to raise a good family.
So this post is to my fellow African American women who feel the same way as this woman does. I work around a lot of foreign people, a lot of foreign families. I work around Indians, I work around Africans and Koreans and Romanians and Hispanic families. And one thing that I can tell you with confidence is 99.99% of African American women could not, would not, and is not capable of being the type of woman and playing the role that women play in their families within these cultures.
Damn, she went in hard. 99% of African American women do not fit that mold. I don't want to know if she's correct or not, but it sounds likely.
The fact that you call some of the things that we deal with struggle love,
right?
That makes me know right there that there is no way that you could hold up to the type of women they are in other cultures in their families.
Yeah, I don't want to be racist, but yes, African American women seem to really think that them doing the basic things that most women do for their relationships and for their husband is some kind of struggle love. Somehow they're the ones that is carrying everything. This strong, independent boss babe shit is so bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. These African American women really want to push this narrative that they can do everything themselves, they can do all this, that they have to support men, and African American men are just dirtbags. But what African American men are asking of you is just what most men ask of their wives. And most other women of other cultures don't have an issue with this. Not as much as you do. And it's crazy that what she said, 99% of you guys don't fit this mold, or for some reason don't understand.
Have you ever watched a Indian family run a hotel? Even though the man is the head of the household and even though their marriages are arranged, do you know what the women do within that family? I mean, I don't think you understand that there is no such thing as a soft girl era. It's just not.
There isn't.
And no one in these families will look at building a family together as struggle love.
Right.
None of them look at it that way.
Nope.
In fact, in a lot of cultures around the world, you can't even marry as a man if you don't have your bread together. So why are black women being told we need to help upbuild? Why are we being told we need to ride or die? Why?
This lady made a comment about how usually the men in these cultures have to be somewhat stable before they marry or have a wife. It doesn't mean that they don't struggle.
Yeah.
It does not mean that they don't struggle, because they do. And
it's yes and no. Because really, most of the time, the men's that when they get married pretty young. and the man might not be fully built yet, but he has goals and he's going somewhere, and you're going to have to build with him to help him get there. That happens a lot too. Most of my family, we don't marry someone that's fully built already. It's rare that that really happens with the women in my family that marry. They marry men that are good to them, that they have come from a good pedigree, and like because their pedigree are hardworking, they don't have to be fully made yet, and they can still get a wife. Look, I'm not fully made. My family knows I'm like the black sheep, and I'm probably worse off than most of my cousins because they all have donut shops and do well, pretty well in their businesses. But because I come from such a well groomed family, that we are very hard workers. Even though I am not made yet, women still want to marry into our family. They still want to marry me, knowing, yes, I might not be there, but my family, all of them have made it. All of them have done something. All of them have struggled to get to where they are. So I have those genes, that mentality in me. So it doesn't have to be always a fully made man. This is just what Americans seem to want to think because they don't know the other cultures.
They do. I've watched Indian families literally move into a hotel together, struggle together. No, you know, stainless steel appliances, none of that. And even though the wife does not get paid, she will work 24 hours a day and take care of her family to make sure her husband hotel runs perfectly.
100%. That's what my mom did, and that's what all of my aunts do. Most of my aunts actually run the donut shops. Most of my aunts actually run the businesses. My uncles take a bit of like a step back into those roles. My family is a little bit more of like a matriarchy, I guess. Most of my aunts are the more breadwinners. The only person that isn't is my dad and my uncle. They're the only two males in the family. But all of my six aunts, they all control their businesses. They all control everything. It's just how it is.
99.99% of African American women are not going to do that. You already, we already don't want coffee dates, okay?
Yep.
So I just feel like there is no, I mean, don't bring up other cultures because you have
Yes.
no idea, okay?
I agree. If you don't truly understand the other cultures, it's hard for you to kind of compare them and bring it up. I was immersed in African American culture. I was, raised next to Compton. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that I've met their families, and their families love me because I'm a respectable little Asian kid, right? And I've seen the cultures. I've seen how everything operates, and I've seen my culture. I've seen Vietnamese culture. I've seen Middle Eastern culture. So I've personally have known these people and know the culture pretty well because I immerse myself with their culture. Like when I make friends, I'm not just your friend. I'm gonna go to your events, do the things that your events, have of men and women to do, and it's different than just reading a book or just thinking what other this is. I feel like most American, especially American women, just assume things. They automatically assume certain things are happening because of tradition, but they don't really know what's happening out there.
Ask them. Ask
Yeah,
them.
I
And
agree.
it's not a bad thing. It's all about perception. It is literally all about perception.
Correct.
Lastly, when someone that you want to deem as racist says anything about the black community, we all are very quick to talk about statistics and
Yeah.
data. And that data that you will bring up is the same data that you need to enter into your head, which is black men usually are more susceptible to unemployment and discrimination against jobs.
Yes.
It just is what it is in our community, you know? So don't forget that. You can't bring it up when, you're going against somebody that you deem as racist, but now you want black men to be like everybody else. They're not in the position to be like everybody
I
else.
agree.
Okay. So
Everybody has the ability to be where they need to be or where they want to be. It's just where they start is out of their control. A lot of people start way at the bottom. A lot of people start even worse than the bottom. They're in the negatives. And then some people start a little bit above. So for certain people to get to where they want to be, it might be a little step. Some people, they have to dig themselves out of a fucking hole. But everybody has the ability to be able to get there. But yes, there's differences of how long it takes people.
Rather than talking down on Black men, we need to come together as a community and work together as a community, because that's the difference between our community and other cultures. They work together.
Yes.
And if you think that our men are damaged now, I've said it before and I'll always say it again. Start with the men in your family and raise them to be the type of men that you want to see in our community. Just as simple as that. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.
Why are black women
Ooh, man, that was some good chow. She's right. The community doesn't really want to build together. I've had a gas station in Bakersfield, in a very rough part of town. We'll just say it's the ghetto. And I've seen it. I've seen people taking advantage of other people of the same race in that community constantly. And not saying it doesn't happen in other communities, but other communities do have at least some kind of pride, I say, in their community and pride in their country. So they don't want to they don't want others to look at us in a bad way. So they don't do some of the things that African American community does. And it is what it is. So please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.